Hello friends. So I have been working on this fun little project and I thought I would show you. I'm sure you've seen this sort of thing before. I didn't come up with this, but I made a couple of them a long time ago and then I completely forgot about them and then found them in an unbound journal that I was binding recently that I had made like over a year ago. And just finished actually like binding together, and when I was going through it, I was like, oh, these overhanging journal cards, I should make more of those. These are great. These are so fun. This was the book that I had made them in first, and I think there's just two of them in here. Let's see if I can find them. Here's one. So this is with pictures from like an old art book and from the Audubon book, a vintage Audubon. And this one I did on manila folder, so, and I inked it, and you can just journal on the inside, on both sides, and then it's just got beautiful images and hangs over a page. And I think it's a fun way to like, either like, if you want a page to be really pretty, but you also want to have a lot of writing space, like I didn't want to cover up this dot grid page. I wanted to leave it where it could be written on. And used as a dot grid page, but I also didn't want it to just like be a blank white dot grid page in the journal, so I made this. And there's another one earlier in here. I know there is. Here it is. So yeah, this is another Audubon one. So again, like you're preserving all of this journal space, you're adding this extra journal space, but you're also just making it really extra beautiful. And this one is also on manila folder, and I just think they're really lovely. And so I came across those when I was binding this book, and I thought I should make more of those, and I should actually just make like a whole bunch. Well, I thought when I was making this journal, which I'm about to list for sale, I just haven't done the flip through of it because I did a flip through of it when it was totally plain, and then I was like, I should add like more pockets and stuff and overhanging journal cards, and so I keep going back and adding stuff to it. And I think I added 3 of these in here. Let's see if I can find them. Here's one. So this is one that I made yesterday, and I've just paper clipped this one on with this cute little flower paper clip. And it's got garden images from the book that we're going to go through together in a bit, because I'll show you how I make these. It's so simple. Yeah, and this one I did on watercolor paper. So it's got that nice creamy color, and it's got these just pretty flowers, pretty garden photos on both sides, and just have that hang over. Again, because I felt like I didn't want to cover the sheet music. Like I didn't want to like glue stuff onto the sheet music. I didn't, so that people could have more writing space, but I wanted to add more writing space into the book. And, you know, whoever ends up with this journal can totally like move these cards around to other places if they want to. But that's one of them. The other ones I won't take off the pages. I'll just show you them where they are. So we've got 1, and then we've got 2. So the other 2 I did on cardstock, which is really cool because this size you can get exactly 2 out of a regular 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. So this was a photo that came out of like, I bought a frame at the thrift store, and this was like the default image on the frame. Like it even said like 4 by 6 at the bottom, so you could see the size of the frame. But I cut these to 4 1/4 wide, and then, which is half of 8.5, and then so you get 2 out of the 8.5 side, and then they're 11 long folded in half, so they're 5.5 this way. So then I cut the images to about 4 by 5 1/4. So cutting that just let me cut off the 4 by 6, and I thought it fit absolutely perfectly. And then I went through my book. I have this book, it's called like Venice and Its Beauty, and it has a bunch of cool architectural photos of Venice in just about the right size for this sort of thing. And then it also has some cool photos of like old art and stuff like this one. And then I did another color of cardstock, here it is, with some more of those garden images from Reader's Digest, A Garden for All Seasons. So there's this and this one. And I just think those are really, really lovely. So again, like the page underneath is preserved, but it's also decorated, and you can move these around anywhere you want in the journal. So I just think those are so fun, and they're actually quite simple to make, and they're a really great use for a very particular size of image. So if you have a bunch of images of about that size, and you're wondering what to do with them, I think this is a really fun idea. And it's really, so like this is one piece of cardstock like this, right? Here we have 8.5 by 11. I just cut it at 4 1/4, and then I scored it on my scoreboard at 5.5, folded them in half, And then we have totally blank and writable on the inside. I tried inking a couple of these. I inked these two, this one on watercolor paper and this one on this gray cardstock. And I honestly just decided that I liked them better not inked. So I'm not like mad at these, but I just decided for the amount of labor that I was putting in and how good it looks just like this, I just left them like this. So these are from Venice and Its Beauty. What is it called? Venice and Its Beauty, yeah. So is this one. And then these are from, well, so are these two. So yeah, all sorts of fun stuff. And then these are from the Reader's Digest, A Garden for All Seasons. And so is this one. And I thought I would just walk you real quick through how I do this. I didn't cut out quite enough images for the amount of cardstock that I cut out yesterday. I ended up cutting out I used up all my colored cardstock that I cut up, and then I had a bunch of watercolor paper left that I didn't pull images for. So I figured we could do a couple of those together. I will walk you through the process of making the background just for one of them. We'll just do one. Let's pick these stock here. Here, let's actually use this green one. I've kind of been wanting to do a green one. Okay, so I have this lovely green cardstock, and you can just cut it with whatever you want to cut it with. I'm going to cut it with my little paper trimmer. So I'm just going to line it up to the 4 1/4, which is half of the 8 1/2 width. Slice that right down the middle. And if I was doing a whole bunch of these like I did yesterday, I would do all the slicing and then do all the scoring and then do all the image hunting and then do all the gluing and stuff. And then I just pop this on my scoreboard, which I love. This is so helpful. And just right here at 5 1/2, and then fold that over. Get a nice little bit of encouragement there with the bone folder. Oh, go back, glue. Get back, JoJo. 5 1/2. Fold it down the score. Give it some encouragement, and we're good. So pop that away. And then the fun part, I think, is looking for images. So I actually still have these two that I like both of these, but I just don't feel like they go together. And so I set them aside because, yeah, anyhow. But this one I'm really enjoying going through. And let's see, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I need 22 images that are about 4 by 5 1/4, basically. And I know that I've gone through a lot of the first section, so we'll just start. I think I've gone through a little more than that. We'll start about here. This looks like a good one. And I always check the back to see what's on the back. And then let's see, we'll use, how wide is this one? Because I can use it to kind of check my, okay, so this one is not quite 4 and not quite 5. So we could go a little bigger than this, but this also looks good, and I'll show you that. So yeah, smaller is fine, obviously. Oh, that looks lovely, actually. I kind of like that amount of frame. And yeah, so this one is gonna be the perfect size. So we'll pull that out. Uh-oh. I do not want to tear this image because I really like that and I want to use that. Ow. I'm at the point in my pregnancy where I'm having to do the gestational diabetes testing, and I'm going the finger prick method, and my fingers aren't very happy with me about it. Been having to, oh, here we go. It's really good to have a blade like this just rolling around on the floor. It's a nice little safety practice. Don't do that, folks. But you know, what can you do? Come on. There we go. Okay. So we've got 1 out of what, 22 I said? Let's pull this cord up and out of the way. And then we just keep going. And like this would probably be good. It's a little small, but I really like this and want to use that for something else. So we're going to skip it. And I am looking for vertically oriented images. You totally could do this in other sizes. I'm just finding that this size works really nicely for me. I really like this. But I really like the whole thing. I'm gonna save that. And again, like that would be so good but it's got this on the back, so we're not fussing with that. And what about this one? I just don't love it that much. Okay, that I like. Let's go with this one. I think that's gonna be pretty good. That might be a hair small. Yeah, it's a little small, but I think that'll be okay. If not, we'll figure out something to do with it. These are lovely. These look a little narrow and a little long though. I really like those. Don't wanna mess with them too much. That's cool. This is the hard part for me. Oh goodness. Is like finding the images that I want to use where I like, where it doesn't have, where it's like the right size, the right orientation, and I'm not totally in love with what's on the back. This one's fine. I think we can get something good out of that. See, this is too good. It's a little narrow, little narrow. This is pretty. These are both pretty. We'll find some, we'll use one of these at least. Usually I can just tear, but I feel like I'm getting kind of deep enough in the book where if I don't want to accidentally lose an important part of an image, I should probably go in and score with the knife first. This is lovely. And nothing fantastic on the back. And that's pretty lovely too. And I might be able to get both of those if I'm smart about how I do it. So let's pull that out. That's lovely. Let's pull that out. Love it. These, oh no, we gotta save the fuchsias. They're a little small. Okay, that's lovely. I don't know if it's that lovely. Okay. I can't make that decision today. Some of these I'm like, you know, I'll make hard decisions later, but I'm not making hard decisions today. It's not happening. This one, I don't know. This is nice. Yeah, let's take that out. I think that's very lovely. That'll work well. Okay, and we probably don't need to do this. That's lovely. Nope, can't. Always check the back, folks. That is super lovely. Let's pull that out. That might even be a little small for this, but my goodness, it's lovely. Oh my goodness. This is why I bought this book. But these are not for this project. Those will be for something else. I haven't even decided yet. This is lovely. I could probably get 2 out of that. Let's try. Oh, that scoring didn't really do much. But that's lovely. This is lovely. I would probably have to trim these down just a little bit, but that would be okay. And yeah, let's use those. Okay. Good enough. That's lovely. It's a little big. Let's save that for something else. This is a good size, I think. I really like that though. I really like both of those. See, when I really like both of them a lot, it makes me want to like keep the whole page whole and use it in a signature like that. So I think I'll save a lot of these for that sort of thing. This is stunning. Yeah. I might even decide that you're too big for this and I don't want to break you down, but you're stunning. And while this is really pretty, it's not really a shape I would use necessarily. That is just glorious. Could use it as a signature. I might change, I mean, I reserve the right to change my mind with any of these. These are so lovely. Some of them are just a little bit the wrong size. That's lovely if I turn it sideways, and I don't think it would be compositionally hurt by that. Let's pull it out. I was so excited when I saw this book. I was out, my mom came into town and we went to lunch, and then we went to a couple thrift stores and antique stores afterwards. And I was like, oh, you know, just let me just look at the garden books. And I had seen somebody, I think it was Meg Journals, using a copy of this book. It might have been someone else though, because I know she's in the UK. But anyhow, I had seen someone using this book in a collage, and immediately as soon as I saw it, I was like, I need to get myself a copy of this. And I remember going on Amazon, and either it was like they didn't have any copies, or the copies were like $25, and I was like, nope, guess we'll just have to look for it in the wild. And I was like not even really like looking for books at this antique store, but I was like, well, I'll just look really quick at like the garden section, right? And this was right there, and they only wanted $5 for it, and I was like, you know, sold. I was like, this, you would not believe that I have been manifesting this exact book, but I have. Okay. I think I like this better, so we'll save that. Oh, that's cool. Those are both cool. But this is, I don't know. I can't make that decision right now. Okay. Some of these decisions are just too much for my little heart. I really like this tree. It is kind of big for what we're doing here, but I'm just going to pull it out anyway. We might not use it for this. Oh. Whoops. Oh, that's just stunning. So much of this book is just stunning. And I really haven't decided what I'm doing with a lot of it yet. Like these beautiful big pages with these flat lays. I don't know what I'm doing with them. But I'm not doing this with them. Okay, so that takes us pretty much through the book. And just look at the cover. Like, I'm so excited. When I've gone through the pages, I'll probably turn this into like a watercolor journal. I just think the color is stunning, or the cover, well, the colors of the cover. I think it's all totally stunning. So, okay, I don't think we have enough for the number of papers, like backing papers that I cut out, but I don't really care that much. So we will get the little slicer dicer back out and start trimming these down. And so this is where I'm gonna make some decisions, right? Like I'm gonna trim off this edge here, but then if I get this, because what did I say? I wanted it at like 4 inches wide maximum, basically, right? Because we've got, these are 4 1/4. Yeah, these are 4 1/4. So 4 inches wide is about the maximum that I would want. So if we cut it, okay. Well, let's cut it on this side, actually. I'm gonna throw that into the scraps. And then, because I tore this side, we'll see where does 4 inches take us over here. Oh, that's great, actually. Okay, into the scraps with you. And then I think the roots, I think this, like the base of the tree is an important part of the composition. I'd rather chop off some branches than chop off, I think. Let's think about that. Oh, I don't know, actually, that's not bad. And that looks kind of stubby, so maybe that would be better. Well, let's chop off where it's ripped. And then let's see, where does 5 1/4 inches take us? To a pretty good spot, actually. So if it would be like there. Would I rather just do that? No, let's do 5 1/4. Let's do it. Come on. So, more scraps. And there we go. And that will sit right there, framed just like that. And I think that looks really lovely with the creamy white watercolor paper frame. Lovely. Okay, so moving on. I think I said I wanted to use this one. Let's go trim off the edge of that. Trim off this edge. And then when it's something like this, I always want to look at like, okay, so if I use all of this, which what is it measure anyway? It's almost 4 this way. And then it's pretty much 5 that way. So that's fine. So I'm not gonna be able to preserve either of these images if I use it, which is fine. I like this one though. And I like this. So I'm gonna slice it this way first so that I preserve those best. Got that, and that will go in the later pile. And then we'll just slice that off there. And we've still got that to play with in the later pile. And then this, once again, will sit. Let's try it on the green. Just like that, and I think that's lovely. Okay. All right, let's keep going. This one, looking at it again, I don't think I can bring myself to cut this down. I think this needs to be like a full page journal card. So I'm gonna set that aside. These, I think I can do something good with. I'm gonna slice this one off just to the side of where I ripped it. Scraps. And then let's see. Okay, so it's less than 4 inches wide, so we'll go right to the edge of it. And while we're here, chop that one. And this one wants a little more. So if we take it to 4 1/4, which is what I just did, which is exactly the width. Okay, so we can chop, we'll chop just a hair off of either side. Just to bring it down to 4. And then just chop off the top there. And then where does that get us? If we want to go to like 5 1/4, that's fine. Lovely little scrap there. And I think that's a lovely little wintry picture. And then this one, we'll take just that much off the top. And we'll take it to 5 1/4. And that just gets us that nice little scrap. And there we go. I'm not really sure what I was thinking. This is lovely, but I'm not gonna use this for this. It's the wrong shape and size. Okay, this one I'll use. And this one is a little smaller than I would like. So I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna get as much of it as I can here. So I think that's only 3 1/4 wide. Let's see if I even like this as this. And 5 tall. Okay, so let's see. How does this look on here? That's fine. What's it look like on the white? That's fine. I'm not mad about that. And of course, if I did have like 2 narrower images, I could just scoot it over more and trim a little more off of this and have it be a little more evenly matted, which I might do if I end up with more than 1 narrower image that I feel like go together. I also try to keep the vibing, if you know what I mean. Like on the 2 different sides of the card, I want them to feel like, I want it to feel like they go together. I feel like I should have chopped off. I feel like I left a little bit of white on there. Come on. Come on. Okay. And then we'll go to 4. And that takes us there. Love that for something else. Get that off. And then how tall is this even? If we cut pretty much right on the line, it takes us almost to 5. So that'll be great. That'll look like that. So I think that's lovely. Now that might go really well with the tree. We could do that on one side and the tree on the other side. See what I mean by the vibes vibing? Like I want them to feel like I want them to feel like both sides of the hang tag go in the same journal. It's not a hang tag. I mean, I don't know. I guess it kind of is. It's an overhanging journal card or a fold over. I don't know what, if there's a proper name for these things, guys, let me know what it is because I don't know what it is. So anyhow, I'll keep those together. This yellow is really lovely here. And I like the window. That's a nice little scrap. Let's pop that in the scraps bin. Always check for good scraps before I put things in the trash. Okay. And then we want 4 inches wide. Go like that. That's lovely for later. Actually, how small is that compared to the... Oh, this pretty much matches the rose in size. So I'll cut that one out too, and we'll make our little smaller card out of that one. And then we want to go to 5 1/4. Cut that off, and then I'll throw the text away and pop this in my scraps bin, scraps basket. Okay, this is perfect. This works out perfectly. Okay, and then I think I'll stop in a moment here and we'll move on to the next step because you don't really need to see me trim down every single one of these. Or maybe I won't stop, but I'll stop filming. Okay, so I got everything trimmed down and I got images paired up with each other with the cards that I'm going to put them in. I did also, I didn't have enough images from just the garden book, so I dug into my stash, and I'll tell you a little bit in just a minute about what these other things are and where they came from. And I'm just using my Yoo-Hoo glue stick to glue down the backs of each of these to the journal cards. And yeah, there's not a whole lot to say here. I did get kind of tired at the end of using the glue stick. So I ended up using a tape roller for just the last couple. Which I was a little mad at myself for not thinking of earlier because it makes the whole process a lot easier. But yeah, so here you go. And I'm probably gonna skip the rest of this part of the video. Okay, so we have got these all knocked out. I will say I used the Yoo-Hoo glue stick for all of these, and then I just got kind of tired of it and remembered that I had this. I think I was watching another junk journaling video while I was doing it, and she was like, oh, I always use my double-sided tape for blah, 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 and I was like, oh, I should try that. So for these two, I used the tape runner. And these two, you didn't see me cut these out, because so I ended up like not having anywhere near enough images from just the garden book, and so I pulled, let's see, these are all garden book, and then I pulled this from, I just have like some papers next to me, and I had pulled these out for a different project and then didn't use them for that, so I thought they would work for this. I think I pulled these out as possibilities for my tab bound journal, the one that I made myself, and this was like an experimental mixed media thing that I did where I like made the packing tape sticker transfer from, this passion flower was originally on a white postcard, and then I like pulled it off with packing tape and water and all that stuff, which is a fun technique. I don't really like the shininess of packing tape, so I haven't done it much since then, but I do think this is kind of cool. And then I put it on some old book page, and it looks like I used some book page to kind of transfer some text bits on there as well, and then I had stenciled some white paint on here. I don't know, anyhow, it's a cool looking thing, and I put it on there. And then this was I forget what you call this technique, and I didn't end up loving doing this technique, so I've hardly done any of it. It was some Japanese technique where you put like the paper on the printing block with the glue already on it, and then you put the printing block with the wet glued paper onto the other paper. I forget what it's called, but that's what I did here. So this is from a stamp that I carved. And yeah, so I did this one, and then these I pulled from this book, Classic Russian Idylls. It's just a picture of some beautiful Russian landscape and nature photography. I guess there's some architecture in there as well. And these were like bigger full page pictures. So I pulled out ones that were more naturey and that were like, didn't need to be, like it didn't need to be the whole image to communicate the image, and then cut them in half. So they're a matched pair on either side. We have these winter trees. We have this mountainscape. We have this like house in the forest, and there's no house on this side, but there's a house on this side. And then we have this one I love with these, I think they're poppies and some other wildflowers in the field. And then this was the one that I trimmed down, so you can see it's a little bit, I just trimmed like that much off the edge, because we've got a smaller image on this side of these climbing roses that I love. I'm gonna have to use this for my, because at my house is Climbing Rose Cottage, so I'm gonna have to put this in my current journal. And then this, whatever this is on the back. And then I really love this one with the window. I love there's another one that I have with a window, and I love both of these. I think they're both so cool. And some flowers on the back. And then this is the one that I did with the tree and the other tree. And then let's see. What else have we got? So this one was another smaller one, and I kind of looked for another smaller image so that I could chop it down and have a matched pair, but I ended up not finding another smaller one that I wanted to use, and also just being happy with the way that it looks like this. So we've got it with a nice big frame on this side and a much smaller frame on this side. I think they're both very pretty. Some more flowers over here and some more flowers over here. So yeah, this was the one that like the photo's supposed to go this way, but I feel like you can't, it looks fine this way. It's fine. It's good. I'm happy. So I'm very pleased with that. I have quite a few of these now to play with and to add to my journals. And I actually cut out one more set of landscapes from the Russian Idylls, and I just didn't like this on the white and I didn't like it on the green. And so I figured I would save this for something else, and or maybe get out a different color piece of cardstock, but I didn't worry about that right now. So I'll pop that in the pile over here. And that is it. We are done. Unless we want to add some to my current journal. What was the one I said I needed to have? The Climbing Rose one. Where is she? Here she is. So we've got Climbing Rose Cottage. Here's my Climbing Rose Cottage spread. My little banner that says Climbing Rose Cottage that I just added. And I'm about to document some pressed flowers over here. Maybe we'll pop this onto this page for now. Oh, I like that. I like that quite a bit. And then if you want, you can just leave it there, or you can add a little clip. I'm gonna add a little clip. We've got some fun clips here. I've got one last flower clip, so I think I'll use that. And there we go. Now she's all nice and happy and ready to be journaled on, and my journal's getting pretty full and chunky already. As I knew it would, But yeah, so these are my overhanging journal cards. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this was a fun little craft. So simple and easy. I'll probably edit this video way down. But yeah, I thought this was an easy, fun thing to knock out and use up a bunch of good pictures and have some great ephemera and journal cards ready to add to journals as I make them. Anyhow, thanks so much for watching, and you all have a wonderful, magical day, and I'll see you in the next one.